guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Hepzibah, and if you're seeing this face for the first time, hey, I'm really excited having you here. See my video for the very first time. So today's video is basically talking about Australia and the permanent residency pathway that you can go with your family. Let's go. You know that Australia, just like Canada, has a point-based permanent residency pathway? A lot of people actually don't know this, or they simply have limited and confusing information around it. And that is exactly why I decided to make this video, to break it all down clearly and simply. If you watch this video to the end, you will understand the benefit of moving to Australia, what permanent residency pathway actually gives you, and the different permanent residency pathway Australia has, so you can see which one will fit your situation. This is the kind of information that helps people avoid costly missed opportunities. So trust me, you want to watch till the very end. Quick favor before we get started, please like this video, share it with your friends, family, subscribe to my channel. Subscribing is absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything. It just helps to encourage me and support my channel so I can keep sharing helpful relocation content like this. All right, let's get into it again, guys. I know I said that before. Before we talk about visas, let's understand why Australia is such a popular relocation destination around the world and what it offers. So Australia offers strong and stable economy, high demand for skilled workers across healthcare, IT, trade, engineering, and more. Another thing is that it offers competitive salaries and great work-life balance. And it has one of the best healthcare systems in the world. Another reason is because of the safe environment with high standard of living, excellent education system for children and international students. It is a very multicultural society, meaning migrants are welcomed in Australia. Australia constantly ranks among the top countries globally for quality of life, which is why thousands of people apply for permanent residency every year. For many, Australia represents better career opportunities, long-term security, and a brighter future for your children. So think about it. Moving to Australia doesn't just change your career, it can completely change your lifestyle and give your family a brighter future. Now let's talk about the benefits of being a permanent resident in Australia. It gives you the opportunity to live, work, and study anywhere in Australia and have access to Medicare, which is Australia's public healthcare system. It also helps you to sponsor eligible family members, access certain government benefits after your waiting period, more job opportunities than a temporary visa holder should have or would have, travel freely in and out of Australia while your visa is valid, apply for Australian citizenship after meeting the residency requirements. Permanent residency gives you stability, peace of mind, and long-term settlement option. And honestly, if you want to really settle down in a safe, high-quality country or for your family, PR is the key. Australia uses a point-based or point-tested migration system, mainly under the General Skilled Migration Program. To be considered, you must have an occupation in Australia's skilled occupation list, complete a skill assessment, meet English language requirements, submit an expression of interest, which a lot of people know as EOI, which is also points awarded as well. So you get points based on your age. The younger you are, the more chances and the higher points you can claim. You also gain points based on English proficiency such as IELTS or PTE, and you also gain points based on your education qualification. So what that means, if you're a bachelor degree holder, you're a master degree holder, or you're a PhD degree holder, there are different points that gets awarded to you based on your educational qualification. Also, you gain points based on your skilled work experience, either Australian or overseas. So even if you do not have an Australian skilled work experience, and you have the skill work experience from your country, all you just need is the skill assessment, and then you would be qualified to make that application. So do not get disappointed or discouraged if you have never been to Australia or have never had any skilled work experience in Australia. You still can apply for this. Another thing is you get points based on state or regional nomination based on the kind of permanent residency pathway or visa you are going for. Also, your partner skills also gains you more points. If your partner is also in a skilled occupation as you can have their occupation or skills assessed just to gain more points for that category. Minimum required point is 65, but this does not guarantee an invitation. So a higher point significantly improves your chances, like I mentioned before. So let's get started on a different kind of permanent residency visa. And please note, before we start on that, I would like to say that I would not be speaking deeply on these visa categories because I'm trying to be very fast and I do not want this video to be too long. So I'm just going to make a very brief introduction on what these visa categories are. And in another video, I can then dive deeply into each and every one of these visa categories. So this has been mainly to just give you like an introduction into all the visa categories that is available for you. The very first one is a skilled independent visa, which is also known as the subclass 189. This is one of the most competitive and the popular permanent residency visa. And some of the key features is it does not require an employer or state sponsorship. It is fully point-based. You can live, work anywhere in Australia. Your occupation must be in an occupation list, and it grants you permanent residency immediately, but it is highly, highly competitive. For example, if you're an IT professional or a healthcare worker with several years of experience and strong English skills, this could be your ideal route. Now, the second one is the skilled nominated visa, which is the subclass 190. That one requires state or territory nomination. The key point also is the fact that it is point-based. You gain extra point for state nomination, and then you show commitment to living and working in the state that has nominated you. You gain permanent residency from day one as well, but you have to show commitment that you're going to stay in the state. I mean, it's just ideal that once a state nominates you, you should be able to show commitment that you want to reside in that state at least for a minimum of 3 years. I think you can verify that information. I'm not entirely sure, but I think you need to live in that state for a minimum of 3 years, after which you can then go to another state, but you have to be there for a minimum of 3 years. You also gain permanent residency from day one, like I mentioned before. And for example, if you're a nurse or engineer, you may receive nomination from states like Queensland or Victoria if those skills are in demand in that state. So if you're still watching, please give this video a thumbs up. We've covered the very first two visa so far, but the next one is just as important, which is talking about the regional visas, the employer sponsorship pathway, which could be the perfect fit for you depending on your situation. And remember, if you haven't yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button now. It's free and it helps me keep creating content like this. Now let's talk about the skilled work regional visa, subclass 491. So this is a regional pathway to permanent residence, and the key points here is it is point tested, it requires state nomination or eligible family sponsorship. It's a temporary visa valid for up to 5 years, but it leads to permanent residency through the subclass 191. Example, it's great for people open to living outside major cities like Sydney or Melbourne. It is a regional based pathway, which means regional areas often have high demand of skilled workers, making it easier to get nominated. Now let's talk about the employer nomination scheme, which is also called the subclass 186. It's an employer-sponsored permanent residency visa, and the key points to note here is it requires a sponsoring employer, direct entry, or transition from a temporary visa. It grants permanent residency immediately. Example, if you're already working in Australia on a temporary visa and your employer sponsors you, this is a smooth route for you. Another one quickly is the business and investment permanent residency pathway. Permanent SC option is also available for entrepreneurs and investors. And the requirement is that you have to have a high net worth, business ownership or investment experience, significant financial commitment. It is not strictly point tested, but a valid permanent residency pathway as well. Important things to note in all of these visa categories we have spoken about is the fact that the minimum point does not guarantee invitation because it is a highly competitive system. So the higher your points, the higher your chances, because a lot of people, despite the fact that they say the minimum point is 65, for example, a lot of engineers could have up to 85, 90 points, and that increases their chances of being nominated, right? So the higher your points, the higher your chances of getting a nomination. Another thing to also note is that occupation lists change regularly. So if you checked the occupation list in a nominating state and you found out that your occupation was on the list, then you don't go back to recheck and you make this application, you could possibly the occupation has been taken down. You stand the risk of just being on the pool without getting any invitation. So one thing is always confirm that your occupation is still on the list, because the occupation list changes regularly. And sometimes you might check now, your occupation is not on the list. but rechecking later, you might find that your occupation has been added to the list. So also please ensure you check that regularly. Like I mentioned in subsequent videos, I'll be talking deeply on each and every one of these type of visa categories so you can know how you can increase your chances. Another thing to know is that states have their own rules, and just like the occupation list, the state rules also change regularly. So you need to update yourself regularly if this is something you're wanting to explore. Another thing to also notice that English tests like IELTS or PT are usually required for each and every one of them. So you need to prove that you're able to speak, write, and understand proper and good English. So you always have to check official sources or consult a registered immigration agent. Like I will always mention in all my video, I am not a registered immigration agent. Most of the information I share on here is based on my personal experience or my personal research. So one tip I'll give you here, if this is an option you're wanting to explore, is start calculating your points early to see which visa category suits you best, and then you start making your plans towards it. Whew. So now that we've gone through Australia Permanent Residency Pathway, I hope you learned a thing or two from this video. And if you did, honestly, you owe me a like. Please like this video. Please like, and subscribe. Share this video with anyone who might need this information. And don't go anywhere. Stay glued to this channel because I'll be sharing more videos like this, amazing relocation destination, different countries visa pathway, how you can relocate with your family. So thanks for watching. If you saw this video to the end, and just like I said, I will be making deeper videos subsequently that talks deeper on each of these visa category that we have spoken and we have mentioned during the course of this video. Whew, so we are finally done. Like I mentioned, I didn't want this video to be too long. I just quickly wanted to keep like a kind of like an introduction to what this visa pathway looks like. So I'll be seeing you on the next video. Thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. See you again. Bye.